so what do? We're making English style pancake. I've never done it. I've always relied on my mum.
I've made crepes before. It's basically the same thing.
Yeah, all right, well, that's good. I feel fantastic about this. Is it going to be me that's doing the majority of the work?
I don't know. It depends on how I feel.
All right, cool. Well, let's get underway. Hello, I'm Lawrence and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to pancakes. Growing up in Britain, pancakes were like Santa Claus. They'd show up one day a year and almost always get stuck on the ceiling. That might have just been in my house. You see, back home, to mark Shrove Tuesday, us Brits like to indulge in a festivity known as Pancake Day. What do we have to do now? We have to weigh this bowl to make sure that it's at 0, and then we put something in it. Is that the idea?
100 grams of flour.
Which one's the flour? It's probably the one that says flour on it.
Yeah.
Do you think there's 100 grams in there?
Probably more.
Probably more than that. Okay. So I have to keep an eye on those numbers and it'll tell me 100 grams. You can tell this isn't a cooking channel. When I was a child, Pancake Day saw me and the family in the kitchen flipping English-style pancakes, which for my fellow Americans are closer to French crepes than to American-style pancakes. And if you think that's interesting, you ain't seen nothing yet, which reminds me, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, do that now.
Put your pinch of salt in there.
Oh, right. So a pinch. I'm always unclear as to what a pinch actually is.
It's a pinch.
Genuinely a pinch, isn't it?
Literally a pinch.
Like that. Is that? Can you even see
I
it?
would do a bigger pinch than that.
Bigger pinch.
There we go.
There you go.
Perfect.
In our house, it was an act of sheer blasphemy if you failed to enhance your pancakes with a few squirts of Jif lemon, a UK product whose nearest US equivalent is real lemon. This is not sponsored. Both are available in the UK and in 1990 became embroiled in a court case in which Real Lemon was accused of copying Jif's signature lemon-shaped bottle. The prosecution's case rested on this in the minds of the British people. The bottle was so iconically linked to Jif that in creating its own, Real Lemon could conceivably boost its sales by passing off its product as the former. Ultimately, Jif won the case and Real Lemon can no longer package its product in such a way, at least not in the UK. Smell it, make sure it's good. It's always unclear as to whether it's good or not. You do that.
I think it's fine.
It's fine, okay, great. Because I think milk always smells off. Oh, hey, whoa, gone over. Woo, should have done the, stop, Lawrence.
I think it's perfect.
Good. For many of us, though, Pancake Day would be the only day of the year that we'd consume pancakes at all. The rarity of the practice meant two things: that the pancakes I made were truly special and horribly burned. It also meant that when I moved to the United States 15 years ago, I was ill-prepared for two further things: that Pancake Day seemed to not exist on the other side of the pond, and, counterpoint, it seemed to exist every day of the week and was otherwise known as breakfast. Pancakes are a more permanent fixture of the American calendar, and if the many diners that I frequented aren't evidence enough of this, the existence of International House of Pancakes really hammers it home. And yet, for its love of pancakes and commercialized holidays, America largely leaves out the words Pancake Day from its Shrove Tuesday celebrations.
So we have to alternate between the eggs and the oil and the milk.
Put it in? Mm-hmm. All right, and then we get 3 more, like that. No.
Now put in a little milk.
Oh, we alternate. Yeah, you said. All right. Just a bit, though, not the whole thing.
Right.
This is terrifying. It's only pancakes. Imagine me making a gourmet meal. So today's big question is this: why don't Americans celebrate Pancake Day? Well, the simple answer is they do, sort of. First of all, International House of Pancakes celebrates what it calls National Pancake Day, which feels a bit redundant, to be honest. It's like earlier this week when the Pleasure Chest covered all of its windows in Valentine's hearts. I only noticed that on the way to Aldi. But IHOP's National Pancake Day was inspired not so much by the UK version, but in honour of something called Fat Tuesday. And this is something that I hadn't heard of until I moved to America, or at least I thought I hadn't. What I didn't know initially is that Fat Tuesday is the English translation of its more well-known French pseudonym, Mardi Gras. When I lived in England, everything that I knew about Mardi Gras I learned from MTV. I knew that it was especially celebrated in New Orleans and involved copious amounts of alcohol and admirable levels of nudity. But I didn't know that Mardi Gras and the UK's Pancake Day are not only celebrated on the same exact day, but are two sides of the same coin.
Get an egg.
Get an egg. Oh, they're that way. I can't get the eggs. Got the eggs. There we go. Shouldn't have done that. Unprofessional. All right, we're married. What are you going to do?
We are, that's true.
So I've got one egg. I'm assuming you want me to crack that.
Yeah. I absolutely hated that, and I hope you don't get any shell in it.
I didn't particularly like it, but look at that. Didn't you think that was a glorious drop? Ooh,
all right, more milk.
More milk. Right, all right. Just a little bit.
All right, some more oil.
So oil. She's done another face.
I can't help it.
You live with me 24/7. There you go.
It's been a really long day, and now I'm making pancakes at like 8 p.m., so.
It's not 8 p.m. You think it's night time? Yeah, there's a window there.
Now another egg?
Yes. Yeah, let's just do another egg. Why not? This is a party.
Don't do it on that.
Don't do it on that. Where am I doing it? You're doing it. Look at that. Just so smooth. I am the worst egg cracker since Humpty Dumpty.
There's not even anything on the table. Do you see this?
How do you do that? Unbelievable. Basically, Mardi Gras, like Pancake Day, is the final day of gorging before the fasting period of Lent. On my Patreon secret live stream earlier this week, some of my patrons alerted me to a couple of other similar traditions in the United States. Here in Chicago and other parts of the Midwest, it's customary to eat the Polish donut Pancake, whereas in parts of Pennsylvania, the food of choice is another donut by the name of Forstnach, a product of Pennsylvania Dutch cuisine that I'm almost certainly mispronouncing. And in speaking to my patrons, it seems that some Americans do in fact eat pancakes. So to say that Americans don't celebrate Pancake Day would in some ways be a lie. It just goes by a different name and a considerably more varied menu.
Putting oil in the pan.
This is a crepe, ladies and gentlemen.
Basically. Hey, it's your turn.
You want me to do it?
Yeah.
Oh, get in there, get in. There you go. That was actually a really nice slide.
I bet they didn't see any of that because your pan is to the camera.
Oh dear.
Anyway, here it is.
Alright, so now we get to taste them.
I'm so hungry.
Happy Pancake Day, I suppose. Should say about this one, typically what we do in England is put sugar on it, but I don't eat sugar anymore, so we put some sugar-free powdered monk fruit sweetener.
This is Nutella.
That is the taste of my childhood. I was a little afraid I put too much lemon on it, but it's about right.
So good.
That's it for this video. Let me know in the comments below if you have plans for Shrove Tuesday. I'm Lawrence Brown. You can follow me on Twitter at LostInThePondUS. And don't forget to visit Pondland to buy my t-shirts. The link is in the description below. And continue your Lost in the Pond binge by watching this video right now. Until the next video, goodbye.